Gary Rowett looked set to become the first manager since Nigel Clough in 2013 to lead the Rams into consecutive seasons. That was before the wind of change that blows constantly through football, and notably through Derby County in recent times, gusted again. A whirlwind 48 hours saw Rowett leave Pride Park Stadium and head down the A50 to become Stoke City's new manager. Rams supporters thought disappointment was the final emotion at the end of a season that promised much at one stage and ultimately flattered to deceive in the championship playoffs. The disappointment of that is now accompanied by a sour note over Rowett's departure. There has been a mixed reaction to him going. Some feel progress had been made and he was doing a steady job, others were never won over by the football derby played under him, believing his approach to matches was too negative. Splitting opinion is nothing new for a manager. It happens at many clubs, but some fans feel let down by Rowett. This is because he signed a new long-term contract in January after being strongly linked with Stoke and, at the time, spoke glowingly about being Derby boss. "It was never in my mind to leave," he said. "There are not many opportunities to manage in the Premier League and everyone wants to do that, but having played for Derby and lived in the area, my aim has always been to do it with this club. If I could do it, that would top anything I have achieved as a player or manager so far. Thankfully, I can get on with doing that now. Things can change in football, and quickly. We have yet to hear what changed and why Rowett felt the time was right to move on." Rams chairman Mel Morris suggested in March that failure to win promotion would mean no significant investment this summer. Highlighting a near £35 million wage bill, he said costs needed to be brought under control and hinted at a different strategy. Clubs have to decide what is sustainable. Living or trying to live within means always seems a sensible approach, although Rowett had found himself in a time of belt-tightening, it would seem. Did he not think he could reshape Derby's squad within a different strategy and still mount another promotion challenge? The word loyalty has had quite an airing in the past few days, but is there such a thing in football these days? If there is, then examples seem to be few and far between. Clubs have shown that they can sack managers, sometimes at the drop of a hat. Rowett, himself, was shown the door by Birmingham City when they sat 7th in the championship table. "I have no problem with managers or players moving on if they feel it is right for them. This is a professional game." Rowett, presumably, is looking at the bigger picture and he must believe he has a better opportunity of reaching the Premier League with Stoke. The Potters have been relegated after 10 seasons in the top flight, but they drop into the Championship with a £43 million head start on Derby due to parachute money. Managers and players come and go, and clubs remain and move on. Of the 5 managers Morris has appointed, Rowett had the longest tenure. He was in charge for 55 league matches, compared to Paul Clement, 30, Darren Wassell, 16, Nigel Pearson, 9, and Steve McLaren, 26. It is a shame that things ended as they have, because I maintain there has been some progress under Rowett, and the stats add weight to that theory. His one full season at the helm can be broken down neatly into 3 chunks of 4 months. His first transfer window as Derby manager saw him add needed experience and winning mentality to the squad in the shape of Curtis Davies and Tom Huddlestone. He also added Andrea Wisdom and Tom Lawrence, Sam Winnell on loan, and then Joe Ledley, who was a free agent. But there had to be sales, and out went Tom Ince, Will Hughes and Cyrus Christie. The opening 2 months of the season did not go to plan. Hope was replaced by concern as Derby collected 13 points from 30 and sat 14th at the end of September. October looked daunting, but Derby swept through the month with 4 consecutive wins against Nottingham Forest, Sheffield Wednesday, Norwich City and Leeds United. The wins at Norwich and at Leeds injected belief, and the Rams found themselves 5th. A run of 6 wins in 7 matches, including victories at Middlesbrough 3-0, and at home against Aston Villa 2-0, and Millwall 3-0, had people talking about Rowett's team. Winnall's double delivered a 2-1 win at Ipswich in the final game of 2017, and Derby climbed into the top 2. Tack turned to the possibility of automatic promotion. They and eventual champions Wolverhampton Wanderers were the most consistent sides in the division, and expectation increased. Derby stretched their impressive run to only 2 defeats in 24 league games, and their defensive record and collection of clean sheets also caught the eye. But nagging doubts emerged. Gary Rowett is unveiled as the Stoke City manager. Image, Phil Gregg. Stoke City draws began to outweigh wins, and there was a question mark over whether the squad was strengthened sufficiently in the January transfer window. The biggest surprise was seeing a Rowett-style side that had surged up the table suddenly slump. An 8-match unbeaten run ended hopes of automatic promotion and raised valid doubts over Derby's top 6 credentials. The pressure cranked up, criticism mounted, there was tension and the finger of blame twitched as it sat targets and reasons. Could Rowett have handled that period better? I think so, he might disagree. This is a game of opinions. Derby's abject performances in defeats by strugglers Sunderland and Burton Albion only made matters worse, but credit to Rowett and the players for what happened next. They found a different way, they found some form, and 7 points from the final 3 games secured 6th place and a spot in the playoffs. Cameron Jerome, one of Rowett's 2 January signings, played a big by scoring 4 goals in the 3 matches. Jerome headed the only goal of the playoff semi-final first leg against Fulham, but the second leg at Craven Cottage proved a game too far for Derby. They lost 2-0, 2-1 on aggregate, and promotion dreams drifted away on the banks of the River Thames. Asked in the after-match press conference if it was important not to forget the positives from the season, Rowett replied, "There are lots of positives. I think because it's Derby County, they probably won't come out as much as they might do if it was another club." It was an interesting comment at the time, and more so looking back now. I have gone on record as saying it was a good first season for Rowett. A season not without mistakes, not without issues with the squad that needed dressing this summer, but a solid start if built on. Now we will never know if he could have built on that start. We've just launched our very own app for Android and Apple devices, which can be tailored to deliver the news and sport that you're interested in. To download the iOS app, click here. To download the Android app, click here.